Let's be honest. Having a cat is kind of like being in a one-sided relationship. One minute they're snuggling in your lap, the next they're knocking your glass off the table and acting like you don't exist. So here's the big question. Does your cat actually love you? Or are they just tolerating you for the treats? In this video, we're breaking down 9 clear signs that your cat might not be feeling the love, and what those behaviors could actually mean. Don't worry, this isn't a cat parent roast. It's just real talk for anyone who's ever wondered, am I the emotional support human or just the can opener? All right, let's start with sign 1. They avoid eye contact or stare straight through you. Eye contact is huge in cat language. A gentle, slow blink, that's affection. That's a cat saying, I trust you enough to close my eyes near you. But if your cat won't meet your eyes at all, or they look at you with wide, unblinking pupils and stiff body language, that's not affection. That's guardedness. Or sometimes even fear. It's like when someone won't look you in the eye during a conversation. You just know something's off. If your cat always looks away the second you notice them, or stares through you like your furniture, they might not feel connected to you yet. That emotional wall? It's real. And in cat world, that wall is built with eye contact, or the lack of it. Okay, let's talk about sign 2. They walk away every time you approach. You tiptoe over with the best of intentions, soft voice, gentle footsteps, maybe even a treat. But just as you reach them, they get up and walk away without a second glance. It stings, right? Especially when they act totally fine with someone else, like a housemate or guest. Cats that routinely walk away from you, even when you're calm and not doing anything threatening, may be telling you, I'm not comfortable being close to you. This can be hard to read because cats naturally value personal space. But if it's consistent and they only do it with you, it's a subtle form of rejection. They're choosing distance, and that usually means something in the relationship feels unsafe or unresolved on their end. That brings us to sign 3. Their tail is always telling on them. Think of your cat's tail like an emotional mood ring, except it never lies. When a cat's happy or calm, their tail might be still, gently swaying, or even curling around their body or your leg. But when it's whipping, twitching, or thumping the ground while you're nearby, that's not a good sign. It's a body language red flag. A lashing tail often means they're overstimulated, annoyed, or even agitated. And if this happens often when you're around or trying to engage with them, it could mean your presence is making them uneasy. A cat that's on edge around you is a cat that hasn't fully let their guard down. And that means love, at least for now, isn't on the table. Now, this next one really hits home. Sign 4. They only interact with you when they want something. Does your cat seem to become shockingly affectionate about 5 minutes before dinner time? They rub your legs, hop on your lap, maybe even meow a little. And then poof, they're gone once the bowl hits the floor. That's not bonding. That's bartering. If your cat only seeks you out for food, open doors, or fresh litter, and not for any kind of shared experience or calm companionship, they're treating you more like an employee than a trusted human. You're a vending machine with legs. Now, sure, cats are opportunistic, but when the only time they acknowledge your existence is when they need something, that's a clear sign of emotional distance. Moving on to another big one, sign 5. They consistently avoid sharing space with you. Cats show affection with proximity. Even if they're not cuddly, most bonded cats will choose to be near their human, sitting in the same room, hanging out on the same piece of furniture, or sleeping in the same general zone. So if your cat never ever chooses to be near you, even when the house is quiet, warm, and peaceful, it might be because they don't associate you with comfort. They might bolt the second you enter the room, or simply never show up when you're around. That distance isn't random, it's emotional. A cat that's always choosing anywhere but next to you might not feel safe, or might still be unsure of how to connect with you on a deeper level. Here's something a lot of cat parents miss. Sign 6. They're aggressive without a clear reason. Let's be honest, cats do have spicy moments. A little swat here, a playful nibble there. But aggression that seems to come out of nowhere? That's not play. That's discomfort. If your cat frequently hisses, bites, or scratches when you try to pet them, or even when you just walk past them, that's more than moodiness. That's communication. They're saying, this is too much. I don't trust you to respect my boundaries. Chronic aggression often means the relationship is tense, inconsistent, or built on past negative experiences. And cats don't forget easily. If love is a spectrum, aggression, especially without context, sits far on the other end. Now let's look at sign 7. It's kind of weird but important. They don't bring you gifts, even weird ones. Okay, we know it sounds strange to want your cat to bring you a dead bug. But in their world, gift giving is a big deal. Cats will often bring prey, toys, or little objects to humans they feel bonded to. It's part instinct, part affection. They're saying, I brought this to you because you matter to me. If your cat has never ever brought you anything, not even a feather, a toy, or a hair tie, it might be because they don't feel emotionally tied to you enough to share what they value. Gift giving is weird and gross, yes, but it's also kind of beautiful in its own feral little way. All right, here comes sign 8, and this one's a little tough. They don't respond to your voice at all. Even the most aloof cat will usually give some kind of reaction when their favorite person talks. An ear twitch, a tail flick, a soft chirp, something. But if your cat never responds when you call them, talk to them, or say their name, and it's not a hearing issue, then there might be a bond issue. It's like they've tuned you out. You're background noise, not someone meaningful. They hear you, they just don't care. That's a tough pill to swallow, especially when you're out here singing made-up songs about them every morning. And finally, sign 9. This one says more than you think. They never sleep near you. This one's huge. When cats sleep, they're vulnerable. Where they choose to nap says everything about where they feel safe and who they trust. A bonded cat will often nap somewhere near you. Maybe not on you, but at least within a few feet. It's their way of staying close while still relaxing. But if your cat always chooses to sleep across the house, in the basement, or in the most hidden corner they can find, especially when you're home, it might mean they still feel unsure about your presence. Sleep proximity is emotional proximity in cat logic. So if they're choosing distance during downtime, your bond may not be as deep as you'd hoped. Look, if you heard these signs and thought, uh-oh, that's my cat, you're not alone. It doesn't mean your cat hates you, but it could mean they're still figuring out how to trust you, or maybe they've had a tough past. Cats show love in quiet, often confusing ways. And sometimes they need more time and space to feel safe. So don't give up. Be patient. Keep showing up with love, consistency, and respect. You might be surprised how slowly but surely that bond starts to grow. If this video helped you understand your cat a little better, go ahead and like it, share it with a fellow cat parent, and drop a comment with what your cat does or doesn't do.